Let's take the derivative of secant of arc cosine of x. And we can draw a right triangle to help us sort out what that line means. First thing to keep in mind is that the arc cosine function is a way of transforming an adjacent side over a hypotenuse of a right triangle into an angle. We'll call that angle theta, and we'll call this angle theta. And secant is a function which turns a theta into an hypotenuse over adjacent ratio of a right triangle. So in this case we have arc cosine of x. So we have an adjacent over hypotenuse which is equal to x. So one possible way to form a triangle in which that is true is to say adjacent equals x and hypotenuse equals 1. So we have x and 1. And we want to solve, well no actually we don't have to solve for that missing side this time, because secant is hypotenuse over adjacent, so I guess we have everything we need. So now we can switch this around. I'm going to say secant of theta, because arc cosine of x is theta, so secant of theta is going to be hypotenuse y equals secant of theta, and that's going to equal hypotenuse 1 over x. So y equals 1 over x. So now we want to take the derivative of both sides of the equation with respect to x. So we have dy dx equals d dx of 1, and we can actually, we have 1 over x, but let's just rewrite that as x to the negative 1. And we can power rule that. So dy dx equals, the negative 1 comes down, x to the negative 2, and let's just, I like to rewrite this. It makes more sense in my brain to visually put this back in the denominator. So let's say negative 1 over x squared, and we are done.